You're listening to virtual interactive chat like you've never heard before. We are discussing issues from both sides of the political spectrum every night. Join us as we take on the two-party system.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. We are here. I'm David Sponheim, and I'm here with Sarah. She's
there I am.
There you are.
Yeah.
We're overlooking the city of New York in a virtual way here in barely green screen land. Welcome to the show. I'll be running against Trump in 2020, as you know, and my trajectory is stifled by a lack of media time in America. I've done this show for 10 and a half years, and I haven't had 1 second of media time, credible media time in this country, which claims to be free and democratic. We've been censored on all levels. Our numbers at YouTube, our subscriber numbers have remained the same for 9 years. That's technically impossible, with over 20,000 broadcast hours under our belt. We have the same number of followers on Twitter we've had 9 years ago, which means we're being seriously shadow banned and censored. They are afraid that this third party is going to take off and become the wave that America wants, a centrist movement right in the middle of the political spectrum. The thing is, we support gun rights, and we want to help the environment and not tax you too much to do that. And I think every American wants that.
Well, you are doing a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Right in the middle of the political spectrum, as he says. But,
Yep.
You know, the thing is, you're always working for free speech, and especially on 4th of July earlier, you were saying that are people just interested in fireworks? Are they interested in our freedom?
Yeah.
And the freedom to discuss issues and the freedom to run for office. I think what David's doing is very commendable, and I want to encourage all of you to pursue your dreams as well.
Right. You know, I discovered that freedom isn't anything unless you test it. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, it atrophies, and you can't even use it. Eventually, you have no muscle. If you don't move your arms and you don't get up out of the chair, you will be stuck in that chair. And kind of how our country is right now, we're stuck in a place where here we are, Americans. Hi, Sunstar. Happy 4th. The washing machine ironed my shirt. This is one of the finest shirts ever made. It doesn't require an iron. It's aside from, it's fantastic. It's made in the Philippines, or in this particular case, I believe it was Indonesia. But the company is Joseph and Feiss. They make the best shirts for white shirts as far as I'm concerned. It's a Philippine company, though. We've got people blasting fireworks all over the place. We're right in the middle of a Wi-Fi hotspot, so we can only talk to you for a couple hours tonight. Yeah, it's coming on to the final moments for 4th of July. You're hearing blasts in the background. People start their 4th of July right around 8 o'clock, I think.
Well, whenever it gets dark.
Yeah.
Whatever
Generally.
darkness is.
I'm going to check out the news. I want to know more about that parade that Donald Trump claims is not going to cost more than a couple $1 million. And I'm beginning to believe that parade is going to cost more like millions of dollars. And that's what they originally thought it would. Yeah, the thing is just going to come flying out if it drops. So, protesters vie for attention during the Independence Day celebrations. Let's take a look at that real quick. Put that ahead of us so we don't have it in front of us. Okay. I had it. I just have to grab it. There it is. Okay.
Also, I guess they are doing fireworks near here.
Yeah, we might see some fireworks
them.
around here.
I've heard them.
Yeah.
I just don't see him. Oh, I could open the sunroof and see him. Oh, I did just see some over there.
Great. Okay, so Donald Trump's military-style 4th of July celebrations in Washington. Everyone was thinking this was like a disaster in the making, and he shows how few vehicles we even posted. It was like 2 Sherman tanks, 2 Abrams. Trump's salute to America is a great way to celebrate Independence Day, Robert Charles says. Yeah, okay, if you want to believe in the pomp and circumstance of this day and military show of force, I'm not sure what century Donald Trump is living in. I really think he's a 20th century guy, and we've got a 20th century president in the 21st century. And when he says nothing is impossible, he means he can lie about anything anytime he wants without anyone questioning him. So nothing is impossible when it comes to Russian collusion, obstruction of justice, you name it. He's all over it. Welcome to the show. We are alternative views in America. We believe that alternative ideas need to be put forth. I'm not going to do an unban all, Tom. No. David, the 4th of July was disappointing. We're still a long ways from Noco, Russia, and China in the parade category. I know. I mean, it's pathetic for him to put on a parade. It shows how imbecilic his entire administration is. On a scale of 1 to 10, do you give his parade a 12? It was classy. Why don't you go to Trump Hotel and, check out his rooms and maybe, hang out there? You seem to like that guy so much. Why don't you just cater to Trump? I don't even know why you're here, Spade. I really don't. Anyone have the video of the plane flying over DC? Which one? The Russian MiG that they flew over, or the actual F-22? I can tell you parades are less important than dealing with the people of the streets of America who are homeless. We are a joke compared to France in their parades? Really? Okay, thank you. You do that every year. Okay, well, good for you. Well, Sarah doesn't work on my haircut. I do. I'm the guy in charge of my hair. But we did swim in a beautiful lake here in Minnesota. Oh no, I gave our location away. We did take a swim in a beautiful lake here in Minnesota, man. And they have mosquitoes here.
Well, anywhere you have lakes, they're going to have mosquitoes. That's what you get when you have fresh water in nature.
I know. And you people over at iBlog, we're not really sure if you're all there, but we've got 11 viewers. Scissor Fight's there. Hey, Scissor Fight, welcome. Big Outlaw's there. Scissor Fight's there.
David had his XSplit on top of his.
Okay, we'll take a look at the image. Let's take a look at this over at the main screen. I'm going to just take images over there, and then I can bring them up on the main screen here. Working with a laptop is a technology we developed from our cooking show, which would normally be on Thursday, but we're just too involved traveling to really do a cooking show. Let's take a look at this thing the Scissor Fight just brought in. Okay, here it is. Scoop Park Service has diverted $2.5 million in fees normally used to improve parks around the country for Trump's July 4th extravaganza, as White House hands out VIP tickets to donors and Trump's campaign staff. This is more about Trump and using the American tax dollars to promote his campaign. Unbelievable. The president is fundraising for his re-election campaign using an official government event that's draining money from badly needed park improvements. Wow. Isn't this amazing, everybody? This president is the worst. And you people that support him, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. I know. We ought to do an ASMR of just mosquitoes buzzing around our ears when we sleep out here in Minnesota. I mean, I forgot to tell you, I'm not in Minnesota. Forget that. I'm not supposed to tell anyone my location.
Wisconsin.
Okay,
Montana.
Wisconsin, Montana, Wyoming, so Utah. We're not telling anybody where we are.
At least we passed, we did, you don't mind I tell people this, we went to Mount Rushmore.
We did. We went to Mount Rushmore.
On the way out here to Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Well, wherever. In South Carolina, Oklahoma.
Oh, I could step
here,
out.
it's beautiful
I could step
here.
out and watch the fireworks.
You could, if we could just get past all the equipment that we have presented in front of us in the back of this mobile travel center. Hey, I got it. I get 1 point. Sarah's up to, you going to get a point on that one?
Maybe.
No, I'm still at 1 point. If you see us swatting mosquitoes, it's because we're getting good at this. It's like whack-a-mole. Oh, you got to be faster than that. Okay, we're on a mosquito watch here.
Well, that's what we get when we...
Boy, we really have windows coming in here.
Well, it's also
the lights
attracted to me, and the lights, and
well, they do have mosquito diseases, malaria and
Lyme and
4th of July, using your power of freedom. And that's what we do in America. Sarah and I have really blazed a trail for all the people in the world to follow, of doing everything you can to speak out. I know. And if I can just in some way convince you people that we're all being artificially dumbed down. So we have to work a little extra hard to wake up. And the more you make people aware of our movement, third-party movement in the center of the political spectrum, and how we've been censored, the more people say, well, why would they be censored in a country that's free and democratic? Because the people who are in charge of our country control the two-party system, and they literally don't want a third party, and they want us to be divided. They want us to hate Republicans or hate Democrats. If you're a Republican and you hate Democrats, I hear this all the time. You're a Democrat, you hate Republicans, I hear this all the time. The only things we really differ on are these far left thoughts of LGBTQ being endorsed everywhere, which I'm more than willing to say I don't want to discriminate against gay people, but I can't embrace LGBTQ. But I also want to say that I don't support gun control. I think that a right to bear arms is essential for all of us to prevent tyranny and stop a new world order. So in that sense, we're both on the same table here. Sarah and I both agree that we want the right to bear arms protected, and Trump is willing to kind of take away arms. He's even talked about implementing laws to make it so that anybody with PTSD not get a gun. Tell that to a guy who just came back from the war in Iraq, that they can't get a gun. Ooh, you nailed it. What you don't want is a bloody one. You know? Boy, and you have that stuff on your hands, but I don't think we brought the spray, did we?
What spray?
The bug spray? The non I'm not violent. I'm just trying to get the mosquitoes. It's essentially a spray that's completely non-toxic that prevents mosquitoes from getting near you.
No.
But I'll tell you, earthquake in California, oh my gosh, 6.4.
For a second.
What's
or
that?
Play show.
Sure, hang on. Okay, so maybe your facial spritzers attract the mosquitoes. Maybe it is. Maybe I should just do more of it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, maybe they'll go.
Come on in, mosquitoes. Well, I'd run the vehicle. No, we have a lovely safe house. I told you guys for the past 3 days we've been working on our safe house.
It's so safe that there's no internet there. He's completely off the grid, or yeah.
Okay.
That's how safe it is.
We have CBS News coming up at the top of the hour. Hold on, please. We are now going to live to CBS News. Hold, please, while we analyze the picture. Go ahead. We've got CBS News live. Oh, fake news. Apparently this is a situation where I'm going to skip this. Los Angeles earthquake app alerts. The city of LA has lowered the threshold on its earthquake app following public outcry. Residents were not alerted to the quake Thursday via Shake Alert LA because it only registered at a magnitude of 4.5. But we hear you. And we'll lower the alert threshold to 1.0. So every few minutes you'll get a buzzer. No, it's going to be at 5.0. So they're going to say they're going to alert people to a major event. This rumble seat is really great. You know, it's just riding along in one place. This would be like the blimp plane if we were to go on the blimp plane together. Thank you for that link, Scissor Fight. Appreciate it. You can come a little toward me. There you go. Unless I want to move the camera toward you. Great.
This way
Wow.
I have a seatbelt right.
David, what is going on with your commitment to this show? What do you mean? I've told you that nobody can stop me, and I mean it. We have a lot of people that have been paid lots of money to stop our show, and we keep the show going every day, even though it's a 6 to 8 show. It's better than nothing. We can't stop. We won't stop. This level of commitment is what it takes to stop the elitists from controlling our country. And if you're an American, and you're proud to be an American, you can't possibly vote Republican or Democrat You really can't. You're basically reaching the point where these two parties will sell out to whoever pays them. And I was listening to a news show today, and they said there's no non-politically aligned candidate out there. So they don't know what you even know about me.
Oh, we got to contact those people.
No, they won't even play our show. I mean, we can try, but I mean, here we go. Backup music. Okay, back to you. We had a little music. We are in the car, yes.
Yeah, can't you see you were driving to the city?
The city's behind me.
Driving through the city tonight.
We're going it's kind of a time warp, and we're doing the time warp tonight on 4th of July while we listen to firecrackers. Believe me, we'd go over to the firework specials in our area, but we can't and break away from our Wi-Fi connection. So I prioritized our Wi-Fi connection over the fireworks. So some of you are, really into fireworks and like to see things blow up. And I know that I'm free because I can light a firework. You have no idea what freedom is. No idea at all. Freedom is not being able to blow up a firework. It's ridiculous. Anybody who thinks that is a complete idiot. And I think we're surrounded by idiots right now blowing up fireworks. It's like, that isn't freedom, folks. I haven't shrugged off any responsibility of casting. I do 6 to 8 show no matter where I am. Goodbye, Miney. I can't believe this person says I shrugged off my responsibility to casting when I do a show every night, 6 to 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Monday through Friday and maybe Saturday. We'll see. David, are you and Sarah actually in space right now? No, we're actually flying through the time-space continuum. We're going very slow toward our destination of New York City. Right now, we made about 2 inches in the past 20 minutes. We're moving in kind of like a very slow time warp. It's a time warp. I'll keep an eye on you so there's no mosquitoes. Sarah and I have been dealing with, preparing our safe house for the apocalypse. And you look like Danny Zuko and Sandy from Greece. I know, is this America? You gotta love this entire look. I was very fortunate to have known a lot of the people from the famous TV shows that we've all watched. It's like, yeah, I met the girl from Chachi, the girl from Happy Days. I didn't meet her, but she looked at me. That was my big moment in life. White House staff forced to hand out VIP tickets to Trump's 4th of July rally to anyone who will take them. Look at this story. This is amazing. Well, let's be clear. Was Obama invited to this event? That's what I want to know. Was he at the, you guys, you conservative right-wingers, you were at the event. Huh?
You can't click on it? Oh, yes, you want it over there, not so.
Yeah, I want to keep my links over there so it's easier to handle than going back and forth. This rumble seat is fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool.
They really made some improvements since 1936. Okay, take a look. This is unbelievable, but here you go from the rawstory.com. What? No, I don't want to go invest in Canadian. It keeps clicking to someplace. Okay, we're going to the Raw Story. White House staff forced to hand out tickets to Trump's 4th of July rally. Anyone who will take them. Look at this. No thanks. Boy, this site just attacks you. Has Ruth Bader Ginsburg made an appearance yet? I don't think so. Poor Ruth. All right, so political reporter Nancy Cook detailed the shocking desperation for White House staff as they struggled to get Washingtonians to attend President Donald Trump's 4th of July rally. Wow. An outbreak of finger pointing. Unbelievable. Yeah, you're okay, Sarah? Great. Get some water.
I'll get some water, sorry.
Cook filed the story earlier in the evening, but on the 11th hour, she told substitute host Ali Velshi that she's hearing the White House staffers are so desperate to find people who will appear in Trump's VIP section that they're giving them to anyone who will come. Oh my gosh, amazing. Well, I'm glad I didn't come there. Or go there, for that matter, you know. Yeah, so we're doing well. Yeah, I'm glad that nobody could go to that event. What a disaster. This president is a joke. Folks, we don't have any representation in the Democratic Party. They couldn't even impeach this guy. Want to come closer here? Mm-hmm. They couldn't even impeach this guy. They couldn't make any effort to do that. It's just a disaster. Everything about him reeks of BS. His whole approach, lying about everything incessantly. Let me get a little lighter here. That's better. I do have some sun. Sarah's not using a vape pen.
Well, I know. No. I just had a coughing fit.
She had a little coughing.
I think it was the air.
It was the air, the stagnant air in the swamp that we're in right now.
I'll just clear my throat. Maybe I swallowed a mosquito.
Yeah. Ooh. No, don't even think that. I'm going to try this real quick. Yeah, there you go. Okay, we're banning people left and right. Anybody who comes in here supporting Trump will be banned immediately. Text girl, you're out of here. Any of you Trump supporters want to stick your mouth out in this chat room, be aware that's a bannable offense to support this ass of a president. Tom, I don't trust you as a mod. Just being honest. A bird strike caused an Air Force plane to accidentally drop 3 training bombs on Florida. Really? Okay, no, you can believe him, silently believe that Trump is your savior, but get the hell out of my room. Bird strike. Oh boy, talk about having an incompetent Air Force. A bird strike caused an Air Force plane. What the hell? It goes to the next story automatically. What do they give you, like a timer to read the story for 2 seconds? No, this is ridiculous.
Maybe it's
AOC. It goes right to the Ocasio-Cortez wanting to. What is this story? Oh, it's from the other day. Appeal court declines to greenlight Trump border wall projects. Another inept thing that Trump tried to do. So now Trump can't get his $8 billion border wall created, Sarah. My idea. He takes my idea and then he acts like he's going to make it. Oh, who's going to pay for it? Mexico's going to pay for it. Well, they didn't pay for it, Donald. Well, let's be clear. Real freedom isn't lighting a firework. It's banning people talking about things you don't like. Let's start with that. You're out of here, buddy. Next. This stalker is taking on some weird names.
Yes, we got it, Oma. David's looking at your story.
I can't believe this person wants to come in here and chat about how great Trump is. You're in the Trump enemy zone, dude. This is not where you want to hang out. Well, you can pre-screen things over there, but I think we're dead. I don't need to care. Yeah, thanks, Hell All Day. I'll take a look at that later. I'll be sure to see it. Yes, I'm going to read it over. No, Larry Sinclair. I'm trying to break you of that habit. You're a Larry Sinclair addict. Italian blackface. We can't do blackface here. You know that. It's illegal. It's a terms of service violation. Yeah, Mark won't allow it. It's one of those things that'll get me kicked off of his website. And frankly, the millions of dollars that he has giving me, this time is the least he can do. A little free internet time for Dave is the least he can offer for how much? Some guy said he made $900 million so far censoring us.
Someone said that.
You may not believe it, but the more I hear about all the different things he's bought for everyone else, he's offered $5,000 to anybody who will find my location. Now tell me that isn't a doxer. We don't do that either.
I thought he already had our location.
Our location here.
No one has our location here.
No one has our location here. I've gone to great lengths to hide our location.
Do you realize how big Wisconsin is?
I look like everyone else here. Are you okay, Coffee?
Yeah, maybe
okay,
you
good.
can pat my back. I'll be okay.
Okay. She must have went out the wrong way for her. Okay, this is great, though. I'm glad we can come together and talk on this 4th of July about how little our freedom has really manifested. I heard Mark has a deal with Cirrus to use their satellites to track you. No, you're making that up, Tom. That's obviously fake. Somebody said I look different tonight. You can come into the picture. I think you'll be okay. If you cough, just, go out and it'll be okay. Okay, Sarah has better lungs than that person. Oh, really? Okay, thank you. David is Sundberg as heck. Nope, this is the lighting. Let me change the lighting here. I know it seems hard to believe that.
Well, we have been in the sun on a lake.
We have, but it's not that bad.
Well,
I'm going to configure the lighting.
Never mind.
I haven't really. Well, please don't bring up our Minnesota look. I gave up our location again. Let me raise the brightness here. Oh, yes.
I thought we were going to say it was Wisconsin.
Wherever we are, Oklahoma, Texas.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
We could be in any number of lakes.
The Ozarks?
In the U.S. Ozarks.
I like that show. Decided to be tangential there.
Mm-hmm. How's that, folks? Any better? Do I look less burnt?
I have heard that, Dr. Meow.
See, that's better, isn't it?
I don't know.
He has raccoon eyes. Well, it's true. I've been wearing sunglasses.
David, that's the thing. David wears these sunglasses.
That's true.
And he always has raccoon eyes.
Well, you look at my poster on our website. Just check out America's Third Party. I'll show it to you.
But he's got these beautiful eyes, so.
Thank you.
At least.
That's very nice of you.
At least he can protect his eyes, and he can be an advocate for wearing sunglasses.
Exactly. But you can see the poster I have. I've even admitted that I have the raccoon eyes in my poster. Let me show you. This is great. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's so true.
The raccoon eyes poster is available on our website. All you have to do is right-click the image, save it on your hard drive, and you can get Raccoon Eyes Dave on your front yard for only $2 color print, 11 by 15 at Office Max. You can get a color copy of that. Now, I have a hat here. Let me apply some makeup here to my face. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. This is how to look normal.
Oh.
No, it's too far away. I can't look normal. I don't want to wear makeup anyways. Not on 4th of July.
I can do a makeover on you.
No, I'm doing enough of a makeover on myself.
I can reach the makeup.
Oh, can you? Do you want it? Can you get my hat?
I don't know about your hat.
It's in my hat.
Oh, yes, I can get
that little compact in there I picked up. You even have a sponge to put it on.
Okay, wait just a moment.
Okay, flash. All right, we're not flashing anyone. Well, let's be clear. You have another image for us, Sister Faye?
Oh, here we go.
Fantastic. Okay.
Here's some of my makeup. Do you want to wear some of my makeup?
Yeah, I'll put some of your makeup on. Okay, Sarah's going to do a makeup job on me. In real time. Hang on, let me take this image in from Scissor Fight. It's got an axe and a razor blade. What does this say? Never look down. The razor blade is sharp but can't cut a tree. The axe is strong but can't cut the hair. Okay, this is one of those things you actually have to think about. Everyone is important according to his or her own unique purpose. Never look down on anyone unless you are admiring their shoes. Okay, that comes under the category of obscure meme. Where the heck did you find that, Scissor Fight? Wow, that's pretty amazing. We're looking, saying like, okay, here we go, makeup. Let's get those raccoon eyes out of there.
It's not just
Let's
the
just
raccoon
brush it.
eyes, it's also about the red cheeks.
Okay, my nose is okay.
Is your
We're going with
nose
the red
okay?
cheeks. Go ahead and give it a good. Okay, makeup. There we go. I never wear makeup. This is unusual. Okay, that's enough. I feel like I'm wearing. That's worse.
Better?
That's better, yeah.
A little bit, but you still need a little bit on this side. Over here.
Makeup. Wow. Makeup. David and Sarah driving cross country. Thank you.
Better.
Bitter.
That's why women like me wear makeup so much.
Reset this and go back to the cam controls and try to reset, because obviously I look like a raccoon and this is taking up the entire show. I'm not going to play LA Turtle. What is wrong with you people? Look, at the last thing I did was spend 10 years trying to build this show up so you could ask me to play some brain dead surfer who's a YouTube prostitute. Why would you even think of doing that? That's just ridiculous. The guy's a YouTube prostitute, brain dead to the point where he can barely even function, and he'll do anything for money, and you guys act like I should play his video here. I want you out of the room. You can leave now. I only want people who have a brain in their head. Thank you. Okay. We can bring you a better camera. We have that option. Yeah. We don't have to have that camera. We'd have this camera. Hey, everybody. Welcome.
See, I
I think I feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this good? Let's do that. Okay, yeah. Now this is really bright. No, we're not on our car battery. I wouldn't even be able to do the show on a car battery. Is it too bright for you now? Are you okay with this? Because this is good. Yeah. Now this mosquito thing is just a nightmare.
I know.
Yeah, the problem with warm weather, you have to have it. I can't run the air conditioning continuously. It's just ridiculous. I'm not going to sit in idle for 2 hours in a parking lot.
No, that's ridiculous.
Okay.
Oh, that's where it is.
All right, we're back up and running. I'm going to go off the HD camera. You tell me if there's a problem with this, folks, because I'm good with not having the HD camera.
Can I check?
No, you're good. Yeah, I got whatever is up there is bound to be killed by lightning fast hands.
I don't think
I am superhuman, as you know.
After this.
Watch how fast I can move my hands. Isn't that amazing?
Gracious.
I got it.
Uh-huh.
I did.
I know. But then there's...
Well, this place is like a mosquito kill center. Welcome to the Mosquito Kill Center, where we take down every mosquito that comes our way. Have you ever seen anybody with as fast as hands as I can? Let me just show you how fast my hands are. You ready? Did you see it? I moved entire movement of my hands. You couldn't even see it. I'll do it in slow motion. You ready? Isn't that amazing? Oh, you got it.
Oh.
No, you missed it.
It got me.
Oh, that is disastrous.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I love fries. Look at this. Check out the picture they sent, folks. This is hilarious. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to admit that my raccoon face is a disaster, because I'm looking for any free media time I can get. And if you want to use this as our official poster, you cannot. Yeah, you're getting there. Okay, check this out, Sarah.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Okay.
I got somebody.
That's me. Mr. Raccoon Eyes.
Oh God, it's birded.
Is that red?
Yes. Can I get?
Wet one from up in front.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we had a situation on our hands where we got another bite. Apparently, this nonstop biting has been going on with these mosquitoes. Oh, I nearly got it there. Okay, I could run the air conditioning. I'm gonna run the air conditioning. This is ridiculous. Here we go. Idle time.
I just have to clean something.
The bird strike caused an Air Force plane to accidentally drop 3 training bombs.
Remember to unlock first.
I will. All right, she got it.
Sorry.
Just go back and forth in both directions. There you go, and then reverse. Got it. Okay, I'm going to turn the air conditioning on. I cannot put up with this anymore. You should have showered this week. I took a swim today. Sarah and I both took a swim. They want some of that. No. Okay, I am going to get the heck out of Dodge right now. I'll be right back. I'm going to start the engine. Sarah can talk to you guys.
Yeah, okay. So, safe house, huh? Anyway, it's good to have a safe house.
Yeah. It's nice to have a place that we can go to in the event of a disaster.
Yeah, that's true.
Albeit far away, but still.
Well, you know, vacations are definitely expensive. I have to say that. That's true. And I see why people just take that, you know. I mean, people take a couple weeks for vacations. Is this what you're looking for?
Thank you.
And I should feel privileged that I get to spend 2 months on vacation. Yes, in this particular location I have, but it's been interesting. But I really do like, you know, I like that I'm not at school right now. The speech of David's speech. Or some other speech. Oh goodness. Anyway, Trump's speech. I did not watch Trump's speech. I've been in a location without television, without internet access, so I didn't watch it. Oh, okay. Well, and then does that attract the mosquitoes too? The allergic histamine juice also attracts them. Oh goodness! I just turned around and there's like
I'm gonna open the hatch.
3 on the awesome green screen.
I'm gonna open the hatch.
I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't have another. What should I do to get rid of them? If I don't, no. If I don't, that's me. Yeah. I don't know what you're saying because that fell below. Oh, great. Thanks. Why did we do that?
Okay, I'm gonna take care of them from here on in. I'll be on mosquito patrol. I got this.
Oh, boy.
I got this.
Yeah, no.
You got the wet one?
No, we don't have this.
You have the wet one?
No.
Oh, I got this. I'll take care of that. You go ahead.
It's all done.
It's all gone?
Yep. There's one down there, but that's it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. There we go. That should hold.
Hey, watch out. There's one right there on the...
I got it. Okay, we're good. Okay, back to normal. Thank you.
Right here.
Oh, I got mosquito here. I got it. Okay.
Give me a minute.
Sarah's quite a helper.
Sorry.
Dave, stop attracting bugs. I know. Tell me about it. David, did you tell Sarah the joke about the younger man and the older woman? I didn't even know that there was a joke, man. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the HD camera. That really is nothing compared to this. This is better.
Okay, sorry. Did you want this, or do you want to?
No, if you have a
wet wipe.
Luckily, they don't like cold air, so.
Yeah, sure.
No, they don't. So.
That's my thing.
I didn't realize that a light in a car in a hot day, with the windows open and no screens, when warm bodies will bring mosquitoes in like crazy. I didn't realize that until now. No, Tom, please don't talk about that stuff here, okay? Yeah, you had me read a joke last night about a woman with cancer, and that you thought that was funny. It makes me think that you're a complete sick bastard. I don't even have any doubt in my mind that you're a sick bastard. Yeah. Democrat communists throw burning U.S. flag on Secret Service officer in front of the White House? What? 2 officers taken to the hospital with minor injuries? No, we have a remote Wi-Fi broadcast going on from God knows where to do a show every night, even though we should probably be in a nice hotel overlooking the water with the air conditioning on. But the hotels don't have decent Wi-Fi in this area. I would gladly go to a motel or a hotel in my area with decent Wi-Fi, but they don't have it.
Yeah, this remote Minnesota place doesn't have Wi-Fi. And hotel, even the local hotels that don't have decent Wi-Fi.
Here's a story. City Council in Elion Momar's district in Michigan votes to dump the Pledge of Allegiance. No, we're doing a show from our mobile travel vehicle and mobile travel center, and no, I don't ever stop. It's a mutable offense.
David won't stop.
I can't stop, and I won't stop. How dare you even come in and say such things? California had an earthquake, but it was 6.4. That's nothing. I was in a 7.2 in 1972. I think it was a 7.3 in 1972, or it was a 7.2 in 1973. I'm not sure. Well, we're banning all Republicans tonight as in honor of Trump's horrible, disastrous event. 6.4 is not that alarming, no. It's bad, but it's not that bad. Thank you, everyone, for coming in and hanging out with us for the next hour and 15 minutes. Yeah, we haven't even gone to our backup battery, so we're doing great. Of course I hate Trump. Why wouldn't I hate Trump? The guy stole 15 of my ideas to get elected, you idiot. Why? Well, I don't hate him. I dislike him intensely.
David does not like Trump. He doesn't like Obama. He didn't like George W. Bush. I don't think he liked Clinton. David pretty much doesn't like any president that
I like Jimmy Carter.
And John F. Kennedy.
I like Jimmy Carter. I heard. Reagan? Did you hear what Jimmy Carter said recently? He said, this is definitely a rigged election. If Russia influenced it, the election is not legal. Our own ex-president said the election is not legal. Jimmy Carter was not useless. We were not at war under Jimmy Carter. We simply had 50 hostages, and he tried to save them. And unfortunately, there was a disaster in the outside of that area. The helicopters, the impellers all brought sand in when they were trying to rescue the hostages. And we lost 9 helicopters that day. But those hostages were held for 444 days. Yeah. So he tried. You know, you people who rag on Jimmy Carter don't realize what a great guy he was. Well, it's definitely a rigged election. It's illegal. I thought that was a brilliant thing to say. I mean, it's an illegal election. Yeah, exactly. We're overlooking the beautiful skyline of New York City, everybody. Sarah and I decided to get in the back of this van and just start making out. But we're not going to make out. We're going to try to make you into a politically active person. Wow. Can't even make out nowadays. The camera watching.
You're being watched all the time.
I know. I don't know why people hate Jimmy Carter. It's like they've been programmed to hate him. No, we should go get a hotel. That's what the police, would like to say. Sitting in the back of a car with a show on every night. What do you have? Carter was a great president. Yeah, what's wrong with you people? Oh, this is good. Okay. We're going to show you a picture that's very, very symptomatic of the times we're living in. And many of you don't realize that how many symbols there are of evil at the highest level of government. And we're going to show you something that'll profoundly change your view. If people are this evil that they can do this, and you're not awake yet to what's happening, then you need to wake up. Here it is. Awake yet? They've got transgenders teaching children in public schools. They've got people worshiping Baphomet, the evil donkey head. It's just unbelievable what's happening in this world. And this agenda 2030 is being pushed down our throats for all of us to push transgenderism. That's not the norm in America. It's not the norm in our lives. Wake up, people. We're not going to go into left land. We're not going to right land. We're going right down the center, and I'll take you there. This country is going to hold together against a New World Order attack from outside, pushing an agenda through the media, and we're going to guide our way through this nightmare, heading toward a positive future for all of us, where we can support our rights to bear arms and also use our freedom of speech to stop these people from trying to distort our view of the world and change the way we live. Trump can laugh all he wants. We'll be prosecuting him for all the crimes he did under my leadership. I will do everything I can to raise all these issues. I can't tell you how bad it is that the Democrats failed in their attempt to impeach. It's a disaster for this country because it shows how worthless and useless they are. Zed, I'm so sorry, you're banned. Anybody supporting Trump is banned automatically. Bye. Jeez, he didn't get the memo. You can't be a Trump supporter and actually be in the room here. Well, I don't disagree with you about the libtards, but I'm more concerned about the Trump-tards too. They think it's okay to just neglect 4,500 kids in detention centers down on the south border with no services, no water, no shower. These kids are like, they give them a wet one to clean themselves. Imagine washing yourself with this. That's all they get. That's it. This is their laundry day. This is our government helping the children and the people there, this wet one. And you should be ashamed of yourself supporting Trump at this point. He will go down as the worst president ever. Guess 578. Good point. I think I'm going to have some of those chips too. Okay. I'll set that there. You can talk now.
Okay.
I pound chips.
I'm so glad you're supportive of David. I'm supportive of David. That's what I always am. Supportive of David. We don't need a war to come to us in order to have jobs. There's other ways to help people. And in fact, I personally think that when people talk about living wage jobs, that it means not just that it means, there's two aspects. It's like a living wage job doesn't necessarily mean increasing the wages. It means lowering the cost of living. And we could have more affordable housing for people.
All right.
If we have more affordable housing for people, then that would help with the living wage jobs.
It certainly would. Now, this past week, Motel 6 was forced to actually pay $12 million after giving a guest list to the ICE without warrants. And this is a big step in the right direction for American freedom and even illegal aliens getting their rights protected, because they didn't have a warrant to get that list and they got it anyway. So now DHS or Motel 6 has to spring for $12 million. That's going to take a lot of Motel 6s to make up for that loss.
Yeah.
Motel 6 learned the hard way. You can't do that. Okay. Luckily, I trimmed the show down to 2 hours, so it's not, a 3-hour show.
Yeah.
You had fried chicken and a deviled egg potato salad? That sounds good.
For the 4th of July, nice.
We had watermelon.
Sometimes I'll give David a foot massage. Sometimes
We had a nice swim in a lake today.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, man.
Hey, 153news.net is back up. Good.
Oh, that's
Thank
good
you,
to know.
65.
I would sit here in a hot car rather, I don't know. I'm like getting a little chilly. So it's good.
Well, it's better than mosquitoes.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, thanks. Oh, if you think so, I have. No, it's a pretty safe place. Nobody bothers us. It's so remote that nobody bothers anybody.
Yeah, we're fine here. That's why it's our safe house.
Well, I'll ask the taxi driver if he can rev the engine. Taxi driver, can you rev the engine?
Nope.
He said no, that's not allowed in this in his taxi.
The Democrats are threatening that little girl that pretends to be Ocasio-Cortez with death threats. Oh, that's crazy, Mr. Bill. See how these people on the left are really out to lunch? Unbelievable. No, I haven't gotten Gigi Allen. No, I haven't done that, Tad. Happy 4th, America. Yeah. July, let me see, July 4th. J.
I wonder what a J is. You could look up what is a J in
Well, it's
sign
this.
language.
As far as I'm concerned, it's this. J.
I think it's actually this.
4th.
I think that's what it is. I think that's
Well,
J.
we've talked enough about Trump tonight. Let's talk about how we're going to make the country better.
Okay.
Well, mobile medical units in every city in America would be nice.
They're already legalizing marijuana across the country, it seems, so I don't think that has to be David's first executive order, but he did talk about that in the previous election.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think I have anything in my collection that I could bring you because we couldn't run a hard drive. We weren't unable to run a hard drive on our show.
That's fine.
Which
You don't
means
need all the
we don't
little-
have that.
I know. Poor David and all his little media that he doesn't have right now.
I used to have lots of media capability, but unfortunately we don't, not with a hard drive. Why do I have to keep moving over here?
You should.
Let's change and dimensionalize.
No, that's why.
That's good. Okay, well, that's fine. At least we're not running a backup hard drive.
I mean, you can sit up straight.
And a
if you
backup
want.
hand drive. No, I'm good. You're actually 5'11", I'm 6'4", and I feel better sitting back in the chair.
I just like to sit forward in a chair. That's why.
We're not talking about your drive being hard. We're talking about your hard drive. I don't need 2 live crew on, man. I got my own music, man. Free love. You haven't heard my newest song? Free love?
For free love.
Well, that goes with freedom for 4th of July, huh?
Free love, yeah. Okay, well, building a mobile medical unit in every city, having 10 in cities like LA, Chicago.
Thank you, Hero Alert.
Hey.
David's very happy to hear that. He spent a lot of time on that site.
Isn't that a cool site? You can do anything you want on that site, and it's got the backbone created by Scraplet. And I am so happy we can bring you, and check out the Web Oasis button at the top right. That is the doorway to the internet. It's special. I know, some of you are really reacting well. In 1998, when I met Sarah online, virtually 20 years ago, the chat rooms were way more active, believe it or not. We had way more tools like avatars, and we could even put audio messages in our message board. And things have gotten kind of stale over the years, especially with Google and Facebook being so static. And I thought, well, wouldn't it be great just to have a free, fun website that doesn't collect cookies when you go there? And we don't ever collect cookies, so you can go there anytime. It may say insecure or non-secure server because we aren't running that through the backbone of a certificated server. We can't really do that unless we change what Scraplet does. And I think I'd have to really make a phone call and give the guys some serious money to do that. So just use it on Opera if you have a hard time getting onto Cool Rock. Opera works great anywhere in the world. Opera will run that site, no problem. All right? I think personally that if we hadn't created a cool site that you could play, maybe make music and draw and go to the VR section down at Mr. Do, and that's really cool. I'd use my computer to show you, but I'd be using too much battery time. So when I get down to about 23%, I kick it over to the battery. Right now we've got 36%, so we're good. We have a backup battery system. That's the technology we're using tonight. If and when I have to use it, I can jack up to this little battery, which is a lithium-ion battery, which has the ability to carry a charge.
Birthday gift to David.
Yeah, she gave you. This was her birthday gift to me, and I've got a nice full charge in here, so we then plug it into this without drawing off of an AC inverter, which, by the way, 3 days ago, with the backup light we had, literally almost made us stall in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, so luckily our batteries survived that. We don't want to stress it out anymore. So I've got the backup battery instead, and I tried charging this during the ignition system when I'm running the engine, or when I didn't run the engine.
We were running a very intense light off of it too.
Yeah, I think you have to be running an engine at all times whenever you use these chargers. But yeah, I'll be ready to go in about, say, a few minutes. I'll have that jumped up, ready to go. So far we've had a pretty good trip, except for a few snafus, which were not expected. Like this snafu. When the plug snags on something. I would say most of the hotels we were in were 4-star or better. I didn't expect to have a wonderful time when we got to this remote area, and then we found out we had a really low Wi-Fi speed. Okay, so the intense light was purchased at Walmart. It's a disposable light like this one over here. You can't really see it. I'll tell you how screwed up the world is. They make these lights in China, and they're literally disposable. All this equipment, all these LEDs, when the battery runs out, you virtually have to throw them out because you can't get to the battery. They're locked out.
Thanks, chat room celebrity. We'll look into it.
We'll look into that chat room. But
I did not know that True Life Brew was on Donahue.
No, we did not know that. Well, it looks like there's actual real traffic going on behind me. It's kind of fun. It actually looks real. It's kind of weird. Mm-hmm. So I can tell you that Trump has taken us into a very dark place. His conservative views, his 20th century mentality, his inability to make decisions correctly, like this recent debacle with Iran, wanting to attack Iran. Within 5 minutes of attacking Iran, he pulls the whole mission.
Wow.
Put our country to the highest level of national security to attack Iran for no reason other than to support his ridiculous view that we should have economic sanctions on Iran, which is only causing us problems with China. And that cavalcades forward to problems with China and Canada. And that travels forward to the problems with China and Japan, Canada, and the U.S. And now we're at like a trade war almost going on with China and other countries because of his ineptitude. So he's systematically cavalcaded forward toward this place, this dark place where we are right now. And he's tripling down on his hatred for Iran, which is only exacerbating the problem, when all along this guy is as guilty can be about colluding with Russia. And last week he jokingly told Putin, "Oh, we're going to make sure you don't in any way control our elections." He laughingly said that to Putin, and they both laughed. Now, you Americans must realize that our country is not getting what we deserve from the Democrats. They didn't do their job. Many of you did vote for them, wanting to see impeachment, and didn't get that. I would have moved toward impeachment immediately, and I can seriously say that the Democrats have no leadership whatsoever. Not only is there collusion, but there's extreme obstruction. Just 3 weeks ago, he said to Nancy Pelosi he would not in any way talk about the budget or about the infrastructure plan unless they stop investigating him. That is pure obstruction at every level. The Democrats, and in fact all of the House, Senate, and the House have the right to investigate and inspect anything that he's doing at all times. And for him to think that he's going to stop any investigation into his background, and of course he hasn't presented any of his tax returns. That's another issue that's still sitting out there in Nancy Pelosi land. We are not getting any migration forward in those areas that are critical to knowing how much he colluded with Russia. And now we're seeing a country virtually allowing a president to act like a dictator in a country that clearly has no will of its own to stop this. It's mind-blowing to think how weak the Democrats have become and how useless they are as our secondary alternative to Trump. We already had a plan for refugees. We were going to expand the border container fence to include housing on their side, on the Mexico side. We were going to offer free housing in the border container fence. We had a plan there. Plus, we have the advanced Ellis Island concept where we would take in people and process them in a much more advanced Ellis Island, both on the East Coast and one on the West Coast in the Channel Islands. We were preparing for this, but Trump just copied my ideas and ran with his own concept of a zero tolerance plan. And now they're letting in people from Chad, of all the places, which is right next to Congo, which is right where the Ebola outbreak is happening. So we're seeing people from Chad come in here. We're not even inspecting them to see if they have Ebola. This guy is completely out to lunch.
Like, at the very least, do where you put people in confinement.
Temporary housing for people while they sort these out.
Quarantine.
Oh, quarantine, yeah. We don't have anything. We are allowing people from Chad, no travel ban is in place, and they could be carrying Ebola. And you don't present with Ebola right away. You could be dormant for 2-3 months. So these people could be going into housing facilities right now and spreading the Ebola, and the CDC doesn't even know it. Absolutely, we could let companies advertise in the containers. Absolutely, you could do anything you want. I really don't care as long as we build these things. This guy stole my idea to get elected, the idea of building a 1,000-mile fence, claimed it's his own, called it a wall, and said, Mexico's going to pay for it, when in fact, he's not getting it built. Meanwhile, the flow comes in. This is exactly what the New World Order wants. They want our country's immigration plan to just fragment, and all of us to virtually see people pouring into our borders.
With the report.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let me go take a look at that. Okay, I'm going to do something real quick. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing, the whole immigration issue. Yeah. One of the things, I know it's kind of off the wall ideas I had for immigration. One was a lethal electric fence, which I know some people think that's not humane, but it works in prisons, but then liberals will say, some liberals say, why would you, something about putting up a fence would keep us in instead of keeping other people out. The other would be that the other idea I had was to change the way citizenship works in the U.S. Like right now, in order to become a U.S. citizen legally, you have to have somebody sponsor you, then you have to come and work or live for a certain amount of time in the U.S. You have to have a certain amount in your bank account, and then you can become, and then you have to take a citizenship test, of course. But they could make it a lot easier to have the citizenship test given to people that live in other countries.
Yeah.
So that's one of the concepts I had, and have them take the test at the embassy in their home country.
That's a good idea. That was a great choice that you made.
So I think there's a lot of different ideas out there that we can explore as far as the immigration issue goes.
Yeah. Your landscapers were deported? Wow. That's too bad. I'm trying to find the hard drive. I'm trying to find this thing.
Is it one of these?
I thought so, yeah.
That one? Not that, obviously. Let's see. What's that, Richie? Unplug and replug.
Yeah. It just didn't recognize it. Let's try this again.
Refresh.
Yeah. I'm getting ready to dump some video into it. I didn't realize my hard drive was this filled up. Take this up here.
Not that I know of, but I didn't watch the parade today.
No, we did not in any way watch a parade, unfortunately. But, you've seen one fireworks show, you've seen them all, right?
Fortunately, there is a lot of public restrooms around the area, so.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it doesn't want to grab it. I had something on this hard drive. This data hard drive has. Yeah, see that? This has 218 megabytes of information on there. It just doesn't seem to have anything on it. It's like it was never written onto. Let me pull it out and see if it's an internal hard drive, I think.
Refresh, yeah.
All right.
So that's an internal, maybe.
I can plug this out over here and try this.
Oh yeah, the camera.
Yeah. Okay, we're just trying to get a little access drive while Sarah's eating her chips.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
No, we're good. Maybe that'll open up.
I'm eating these harvest snaps are called, some kind of, they're green pea snack crisps. That's what I'm eating.
Okay, this should
I do
help.
appreciate the people that are, immigrants that are serve in our military.
Yeah, definitely. There are quite a few. Okay, so while that's moving over the drive, it'll clear up. Oh, thank you very much for I'm so happy you like my impersonation of Donald. It's just so sad that this guy has taken our country to such a dark place, and we don't have a choice for VP right now. Sarah's too busy with her life, and since this show is doing more damage to the two-party system just existing, if I could president for whatever hypothetical reason, we'd be able to choose a VP at that point. But we're running among 630 other write-in candidates this year in 2020. There are over 630 write-in candidates all across the country registered at the federal level. Not every one of them is registered at the state level. I'm not yet. But you've got to understand, we're doing the show more to raise awareness for the impotence of our system and how we don't have any type of ability to offset corruption in our government. The tools that we have are our political process, and no one seems to understand that they actually have to vote or make donations. And as much as you guys watch the show and talk to us about political stories, and we share ideas and I give you commentary, it doesn't translate into a political movement. That would require a lot more Americans getting involved, and I know the world audience is very, very supportive of us. As long as you tell people about us, that helps a great deal, and that's free. You don't have to spend any money to do that. And that's a way we can bypass the media controlled by the elitists. Sarah's having these Harvest green pea snacks. You've probably seen these things advertised. They're Harvest snaps. They sell them. They're kind of green peas that have been reconformed into looking like snaps.
They're mostly rice.
They look like peas, but they're mostly rice and peas. Yeah. What things have you changed in the past 10 years? Well, Tom, even doing a show for 10 and a half years and attracting so many viewers around the world has already freed us up of a tremendous amount of losses that we would normally have incurred. Bear in mind, we're keeping the ball rolling at every level, and they can't stop us. And that's something that I think you have to understand is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. They think that they can squash everybody and pay for everybody. I was offered $300 million to stop doing the show. Now, I don't know how credible that was, but it came at me twice from a group of people who said that they were related to the Carlyle Group. I can't verify that, but I do know that the Carlyle Group tried to take over our name, and this is the company, this is the group that is owned by Jacob Rothschild. They tried to make an effort to stop us at one point and acquire third party at third party. So we're under their radar. They've seen us. They are concerned that they don't own at third party, a Twitter site. So instead, what we've seen is our Twitter account's been shut down and we've been shadow banned. We still have Twitter. We can still tweet, but very few people actually know about us. See, we get threats every night. Like I got a guy over your iVlog saying, David, I'm going to find you and steal you.
Because he's jealous of me that I have you in my life.
Yeah.
Or she. It's maybe a woman that's after you. You know, you could have those stalker fans.
Yeah, I know. Now, we can have a show every night. By doing a show every night, we're beating them. We've already beaten them. But we have to keep the show going up. The video looks like 1998 internet. Exactly. And that's why we're doing the show. We met in 1998. So we know this is definitely an issue. So I go to this now. All right, so we're doing the show on backup battery. We're good for a while until that overheats. But with the cool air coming at it, actually I might be able to direct. Let's see if I can direct this fan right on it. Oh yeah, see I can cool it. I can cool the battery right now. We'll set that between us and aim our jets at it. There you go. That's bound to help. Yeah, we're cooling our battery because last night the backup battery system would overheat. Hey, this is Technology Thursday, and we're using technology at its highest level. You couldn't get a better use of hands-on prosumer technology than we have right now. Okay, so you know where we are. We're in New York. Thank you, Tom. Okay, well, the reality is, folks, we would love to do a show every night, anytime we can, virtually, but we can't. We have to really pull it off. A 6 to 8 show is all we can do. They actually shut down the Wi-Fi at 8 o'clock here. They roll in their doors. The whole idea of doing that was to satire Barack Obama. It was never to in any way criticize black people for any reason. You got to understand, I'm an integrationist. I actually really want to see people get along. So it was very difficult for me to do that video of me wearing face makeup impersonating Barack Obama. But again, I have the right to do that.
In a bold operation.
Royal Marine sees a 1,000-foot oil tanker bound for Syria. Okay, wow. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's interesting. So an oil tanker was going to Syria, so they're not going to get their oil in Syria.
Yeah.
Wow. I am so glad I don't live in Syria.
Me too. Okay, what do you have, Mr. Bill? Whoa. Lock and load at Walmart. She's an open carry state, and she's walking around with a full-on revolver. Wow, is this legal? Yeah, it is. Can I show this?
I guess so. You can at least show. You don't have to show someone's face, but.
Okay, I'll just show the body. I mean, I'm not. This woman is an open.
Have that thing.
Yeah, but I'm just going to show. I guess I'm going to show her face for a second. This woman is open carrying in a Walmart or in a grocery store. There are a lot of states that are open carry, and they allow that. She's carrying her firearm open carry for her own defense, and that's completely legal within our countries. Certain states allow open carry. Definitely. Thanks for telling us about that. Mr. Bill. Okay, Dave, should go on to New York City and talk with the... I don't need to. You know, we already know that Barack Obama and Donald Trump are both New World Order puppets. If you think Donald is not a New World Order puppet, he's somehow stopping the deep state, just ask yourself a simple question. Has he prosecuted Hillary Clinton like he said he was going to do? No. Has he prosecuted Elizabeth Warren for violating our affirmative action laws and perjuring herself, claiming she was Cherokee Indian? No. Has he prosecuted Ilhan Omar for marrying her brother in order to give him U.S. citizenship? No. The reason why Donald Trump is not prosecuting any of those people is because he's part of a New World Order plan to destabilize our country. He's trying desperately to keep these people in play like puppets. He just wants them as actors so that they fight each other. That's what's dividing the country. That's why he won't prosecute Hillary Clinton. That's why he won't prosecute Elizabeth Warren, and that's why he won't prosecute Ilhan Omar. He wants that division. And that's how they divide and conquer us. We're right in the center of the political spectrum. We unite, our plans unite, and these people are afraid of us because we could virtually grab people from the Democrats, Republicans, and make them America's third-party members, Americans, fighting for American true values, not some BS communist liberal stance like Ocasio-Cortez and Beto O'Rourke support, coming out of the Social Democrats run by the Young Turks on YouTube, who gets funding from countless people like George Soros, and not like the Republicans, who are simply doing whatever big business tells them to do, and now have given $5.5 trillion in tax breaks, which has taken our country on a real spin. We haven't even found out how serious that's going to play out. $5.5 trillion in tax breaks for the rich. That's how much Trump has given them. And we're going to be without money in the next 10 years because of that. No, I was not in the Rolling Stone magazine. They tried to slander me. That's not representation. Slander in the Rolling Stone is not representation, or libel in the Rolling Stone is not representation. The New World Order is the most powerful organization on the planet and also the most inept organization on the planet. Thank you. I agree. And our efforts to bring solid ideas to America do not go unnoticed. A lot of people love our homestead renewal plan to get people jobs, our solar rooftop revolution, where we put solar rooftops all over the place. They love our ideas of vertical windmills on telephone poles where we can generate jobs, or our mobile medical units where we can deliver low-cost health care to everybody in America if you can't afford a hospital or a private insurance company. So these ideas are common sense, but we're being ignored. They don't want us to solve America's problems. They want to ignore the centrist movement. They don't want anyone to solve America's problems. They want division, people. And they're going to keep our country divided as long as you continue to think that voting Democrat or Republican is going to somehow help you.
Are you okay?
That's terrible. That's an awful situation. I don't really want to look at people falling down who are overweight. You know, that's very destructive. Rashid Tlaib denounces America in a 4th of July. Okay. Wow, look at this. This person. Yes. Rashida Tlaib denounces America. Declaration of Independence, a disgusting July 4th tweet. Look at this person. Oh my goodness. Our founding fathers are not living gods, but were fallible human beings. The Declaration of Independence did not condemn slavery, protect the rights of women, or include Native Americans. Well, considering these people don't even understand that our freedom in America for average Americans has been taken away, and they want to fight for the freedom of African Americans or any number of people, yeah, get on board with the program. All Americans are being alienated, not just people of various races. We're all being alienated. It's nothing to do with a race issue. It's complete alienation of the average American at every level. The Muslims in Congress in the United States are shills. Ilhan Omar is a shill. She's absolutely a puppet. That's why I said they won't prosecute her with her marrying her brother to become a U.S. citizen. The Irish and the Italians, they're all people that have integrated into our country. Muslims have integrated into our country as well. The anti-Muslim sentiment of Donald Trump has taken on a life of its own. There are people in our Congress right now that are going to try to represent Muslims, but what they're doing is they're caricatures of them. They're not real people. These people have been they're put into the game, they're controlled, they're owned by the Democratic Party. Ilhan Omar, they got her number. They own her. I'm not anti-Muslim. I'm a person who believes that everybody has the right to freely pursue their own religion in this country. I'm anti virtually Gestapo agent like people like Trump. I'm anti-people who are trying to control our rights to freedom of speech. And I can tell you Trump is one of them. It's sad, but he has violated a lot of our abilities to even get out there by co-opting my ideas, and God knows how many dollars have been spent by his group to stop me. One can only guess. Let me check our battery. Okay, we're good. I'm glad we got that backup battery.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to go ahead and check the size of our C drive now. Yeah, we actually reached the maximum load on our C drive. Yeah, operating system just had 13 gigabytes released. That's good. Let me make sure they were removed. No, they weren't.
Did they end up in the other drive?
I'm going to try and find out. They're still being moved over, I think. When the job is done, it'll announce it. Yeah, we're at maximum load. But that lighting, David has that Tim Robbins look. Yeah, totally. Except I'm not that liberal. You know, I was kind of a blue dog Democrat, and I was even leaning more toward the right than that. And when I saw the Democrats act like a bunch of corporate political pigs, basically, when John Kerry, the richest senator in our history, using his power and influence to cut a deal with Iran, all these things really bothered me. You know that Susan Rice, former ambassador.
Good night, my cat Fluffy.
Hi, good night, my cat. Peace out. You know that Susan Rice, former ambassador, she actually invested $24 million in Iran. So did John Kerry, prior to that deal that Obama made. And I was the one that said, don't sign the treaty. And Trump heard me on that. But he didn't hear me on the other part, and that was don't impose extreme economic sanctions. And he didn't hear me on that. So now we've complicated our relationship with China something fierce when they arrested Meng, the CFO for Huawei, the largest telecommunications company in China. And Trump won't release these accusations against her. She's on bail for $40 million. China is extremely upset. No, I would never smuggle anybody. David, I just posted what you said about Tlaib on Facebook and calling Muslims shills in office is hate speech. I don't think so. No. I'd like to see more Muslims actually in office, not the ones that they have. These ones that they have are shills. They're control. Yeah. See that? Look at that. So they want these shills in place, and they don't want anyone calling them shills. Automatically, anyone saying anything against the current leadership of the Muslim community, Personally, I think that there are a lot of Muslims that probably need representation in Michigan, but Ilhan Omar is controllable because they've got the goods on her. She could easily be deported for what she's done with her brother. Marrying your brother is highly illegal for them to become a citizen, so they've got control over her. That's why I called her a shill. She is completely under their control. They love to get control over people. Look at Pence. He's got no emails presented on his AOL server, which controlled most of his operations as governor of Indiana. He's refused to reveal those emails. We know that there's some allegations of child molestation and pedophilia in his background. And he won't reveal those AOL emails. Now that's very suspicious. Trump won't show his 10 years of tax returns, even though he said, "Oh, I'll gladly show you 10 years of my tax, no problem." We still haven't seen those tax returns, which would indicate a lot of money being rolled into his accounts from Russia by buying houses and hotels that double their property value or triple their property value. That's called money laundering. And Mueller didn't even investigate that, so our country's in an even worse situation with Mueller not even doing his job, and then not even being allowed to look at the redacted videos. It's absurd. I mean, redacted Mueller report. The American people can't even see that. We're not even allowed to. It's pathetic. No, Tom, I can't comment on that. And Kushner hasn't paid federal taxes in 5 years, using the same techniques Donald's been using to minimize his net load. Donald didn't pay taxes over the past 10 years. That's something they say he's trying to hide from, because he literally declared $1 billion loss in 2007. So all these factors play into this reality that all these people are hiding, and there's a lot of dirt on each one of them. So they use that against our political officials to control their vote. No, I'm in a mobile travel center. But thank you, though. It's nice of you to say it's a limo. Yeah, it's a mobile travel center. Thank you. But they've used this type of control over people, so they have the goods on Ilhan Omar. They own her. They can easily deport her with that information we have about the brother being married to her. Oh yeah, she could be deported in a day. So they're keeping her in play because they can pull her strings. They can make her, like a puppet. They can make her, speak out, make people hate Muslims or like Muslims. It's her way of dividing the country, and this is what these people are up to. They're trying to create animosity between the left and the right, between Muslims and Christians and Jews. They're trying to divide the country between men and women. Any way they can, they will divide our country. And here we are with a centrist political movement, which has a lot of appeal from all different levels, from black, white, Hispanic, Asian people. They want to suppress us and censor us. Do you see the game? Do you see what they're doing? Woodstock was canceled.
Yeah, I heard the Woodstock 50th anniversary, they couldn't get themselves together for that, huh?
Yeah.
So
There were some
canceled.
problems with the promoters. They couldn't pull it off.
They couldn't pull it off. Oh well.
Anyway, this whole thing, we got about a half an hour left to talk, folks, but this division in our country is artificially created. The media right now is pushing transgenderism, in case you didn't notice. Now, I have no prejudice against transgenders. I don't think that we should ever discriminate against people for their sexual preferences. But I don't want to endorse that at every level, because it is not a normative behavior. And I would rather tell children that, if you want to be something different, you will be facing a challenge in life. Just be aware of it. So that being the case, the left is trying to pull us all into this dumpster the New World Order created, where we're all just willing to accept anybody as anything, and anything we say is hate speech. They want to take away our freedom of speech. They want to take away our right to bear arms. They're more than willing to virtually torture people down at the border in concentration camp conditions to deal with that. And they're probably ramping up military facilities in this country to do the same to the American people that they're doing to illegal immigrants right now under Donald Trump. So bear in mind, this is exactly what happened in Germany in the 1930s and 40s. Exactly. They suppress speech, free speech is suppressed. They run around with armed junta governments, like every local police office now has a SWAT vehicle. that they were given under Obama and Trump. They're using a violation of posse comitatus, which was designed to prevent the U.S. military against its own people, and they're slowly migrating toward a veritable final solution, just like Hitler had in Germany. And if you think for a second that this isn't their plan, divide and conquer and then imprison and then get rid of people, why else would they do it? They don't need us for labor. They've got automation coming. These people don't rely on our petty dollars that we spend at Walmart for necessary food items. They could easily replace us. So they really believe, these people who really are the richest people in the world, really believe that they can eliminate 90% of the population through a slow form of genocide. We are stuck in an old movie. It's like hijacked the time-space continuum. We're parked in right over the building there, the Chrysler Center. But yeah, the New World Order has one agenda, and that's to get rid of human beings. It's absolutely insane. No other group has ever accomplished anything like total takeover of the global community. They want global governance, and they're not going to get it. The reason why the nation-state model has surpassed all other models throughout history, it stopped Caesar from taking over, the Roman Empire collapsed, it stopped Napoleon from going farther and he reached his Waterloo, it stopped Adolf Hitler in his tracks. The reason is the regional, local governments of the nation-state model function far better than any global governance. And you know that people are corruptible. The last thing we want are just a few people running the world because they're so corruptible. We break up governance into smaller categories, less corruptible.
Are you getting chilly?
Well, I can turn the engine off or turn the temperature up. What do you want? Because once I turn the engine off, it's total. We'll keep the chill factor. But I'll turn the engine off. We can.
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it's going to be chilly or mosquitoes, one or the other. You know, your choice. Okay, I'll open it up. I'll turn the engine off. It's going to be 30 minutes of just smuggy windows closed. Okay.
Someday I have, but I think that will be maybe for Christmas or something. But we're here now. I'm so glad that we're doing a show just to be with all of you. I apologize for that. I mean, you're right about them, but maybe it's warm outside. I don't know.
There's no open
30
windows.
minutes to go.
No open windows.
I know.
So we can't allow the mosquitoes in.
Yeah.
They literally are everywhere. Oh, that's a red one. And that's dry too. Anyway, we're fighting mosquitoes. We're fighting the cold weather from the air conditioning running. I mean, this is absolutely absurd. This is one of the toughest mobile broadcasts we've ever done, and I'll be doing this tomorrow alone, by the way. Sarah can't come in tomorrow because she's got to rest. But I got to tell you, if we don't keep the message alive about this third party, we're sunk. We have no other options. I'm telling you the truth. We have no other options besides a third party to get accountability from government. They literally have a plan to slowly migrate this country to a police state and eventually force vaccinations, forced RFID chips in everybody. Believe me, that'll happen if we don't start this third party now.
Yep. You're doing a great job with it, David.
Thank you. But I can see the handwriting on the wall, and it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant. Daryl, you've been told not to support Trump here. I'm going to mute you. Go away.
It's kind of crazy what is happening in our country.
Well, it's not just left-wing Nazis. Trump is behaving like a Nazi, too. That's the point we're making here. The Democrats and Republicans are both part of the scenario of divide and conquer. Okay? It's not just the extreme left-wing Nazis, it's the right-wing Nazis that we're dealing with, too. Now, the left wing wants to just tax and spend and keep taxing you to oblivion and never solve homelessness. never solved the immigration problem.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, that's why Davis started America's Third Party, because both parties don't seem to have the answers.
What did you say, Tom? That's a mutable offense. Don't ever come in and make statements like that again. I will ban Tom next time. I think Tom is Chet Kelly. I think Chet Kelly's been hiding under the name Tom Aine. I'm pretty sure it's him.
Yeah, that's why we definitely need a third party in this state.
Every country in the world is watching America, and we're looking like idiots, allowing this moron as a president to tell people around the world that we're going to beat them up or attack them. And he is dismantling foreign policy that took 50 years to develop with countries like China. He's virtually embracing Russia, even though Russia is one of the smallest economies in the world, and turning to Russia for solutions when China, one of the largest economies in the world, is being treated like a second-class citizen. We're acting like China's the enemy when Russia is parked right next to our president, probably making phone calls saying, "If you don't do what we tell you, we will show the sex tape, or possibly sex selfie. If you do not abide by our wishes, we will dump all of your Deutsche Bank loans into a public trust. And you will have to pay immediately, Mr. Trump." I mean, this kind of thing goes on all the time. The backdoor dealings with Trump and these scumbag mobsters from the Russian oligarchs, it's going on right now. And if you think it isn't, and you think the Russian conspiracy is all fake news, then you're an idiot. There's so much evidence to support the Russian takeover of our election. It's beyond belief. And if you're sitting there saying, well, I support Trump because he's helping to stop the deep state. He's not helping anybody to stop anything. Yeah. He can't even prosecute Hillary Clinton at all.
In James Comey's book, I did listen to an audio, and he said that the FBI knew that the Russians had evidence of Trump being in a compromising situation with two in a hotel room with basically with some prostitutes in Russia.
Yep.
And that they were the people who had the information were going to be releasing it to the press.
Yeah.
And so James Comey had to basically tell Trump this before Trump became the president. He was the president-elect at that time. And so he went and told him, and he actually told Obama what he was going to have to do, and that Comey was going to break the news to him, and Obama said, "Good luck."
You know, there's the day that we will have to prove our assets to the world economy will be the day that we will no longer be the world currency, and that day you don't want to see. Because then it's a free-for-all. We have a $460 billion in gold at Fort Knox. Okay? It's not a myth that we have that money. But the reality is Russia cannot possibly buy up all the gold in the planet. China has a large stake in the gold as it is. Their investments in gold have been well-stand. For over 30 years, China has been buying massive amounts of gold. No, we know for a fact they have. Okay, this thing goes off when it gets to this point, so then I just shut it off. The problem with no air is this overheats. Okay. No, it's okay. We can run on battery power now. Then this cools off, and then I kick it on to AC again. I did it last night.
I mean, if you want to run the air,
no, I just want to
kick it up to 70.
I'm going to pull this out
instead of 60 something.
Okay.
Okay, you can pull that out exactly.
Let me make sure it's safe to pull it out.
Yep.
It may still be copying.
Anyway, yeah, there's definitely Russian meddling and Russian control of the president.
Yeah. And
it's kind of bizarre that the day, isn't it the day that he fired Comey, then he met with Russia?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so bizarre.
Wrong.
That was bizarre.
Yeah. I was quite surprised that he invited Russia to come in and have a private meeting with the Russian news agency TASS, videotaping it. We've never even seen those videotapes. We've never seen the videotapes of the Russian TASS service meeting Trump. We have no knowledge of what he said to the Russian diplomats that day, other than he was glad to end the Russian investigation probe by firing Comey. That's a clear indication he literally committed obstruction of justice right there. Under definition of intent to commit obstruction of justice, he qualifies. David Icke is just a complete shill, pushing everybody to believe in reptilians. He's a waste of your time. He makes his money by being bizarre. Not one person has seen any type of an alien in existence anywhere in the world, and you think David Icke is cool? Yeah, right. Sure.
David has said he would allow for the Disclosure Project.
Yeah, I'd be willing to do that. The Disclosure Project, certainly I would admit openly if I could touch an alien, but not see some three-dimensional image that looks like an alien and say, oh yeah, that's real. No, sorry. I have to actually touch an alien to say, yeah, I've seen aliens. Otherwise, it's just a complete diversion. And the alien agenda everyone has seen is completely a disaster. The government's trying to redirect our thinking. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Slaves. Exactly. That's Jacob Rothschild, the man I was referring to earlier. And if it's true that the Carlyle Group really was trying to shut us down, they see us as their biggest threat, ironically, because they've had full control of our political system with the two-party system in the grip of their hands for years. And the only way they're going to be stopped, these people, is if we can actually build this third party. Otherwise, you people are going to be stuck with the two parties forever, and they will enslave you. It's just a question of time. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when. What's the matter? Yeah, uploaded shows. We haven't been able to upload shows because we have a mobile broadcast. I've got 3 shows in the hamper, but we haven't gotten to a high-speed modem. I'll be uploading about 4 or 5 shows in one day. So we'll see them all at David John Sponheim's YouTube channel. You can see the early shows right now, Xenu. When we first hit the road, they're over at youtube.com/David John Sponheim, Jon. All right? Yeah, I mean, the Democrats, even Hillary was talking about a false flag agenda of aliens arriving. This is part of their plan. It's a diversion tactic. There's no evidence that aliens are coming at us at all. No one's seen an alien, ever. With 5.4 billion cameras in the world, not one picture of an alien? Hello? I mean, really? Seriously? Oh, they're hiding. Oh, are they hiding behind the dome above the flat earth? I mean, you could believe anything. Are the aliens hiding from the dome that's showing a picture of the moon? Because people who believe that garbage must believe in aliens. I believe that alien existence is possible, but I don't believe we've been visited. They would have made themselves much more obvious if indeed the Majestic 12 document that the government released with all kinds of redactions, basically referring to the essential alien arrival in 1957.
Yeah, there's a lot of
aliens,
weird documentaries,
yeah,
and things
Roswell,
like that, but
Roswell.
I mean,
you know,
is that really real, or is that just like a Hollywood hoax?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I tend to agree that it's a Hollywood hoax.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a 2-hour show, Xenu, not a full 5-hour show. We're going many places on vacation. We actually went and saw Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
As you guys know, last time we went across country, some of you know that David and I drove by Mount Rushmore but didn't pay the parking fee to get in.
Yeah, I was too cheap at that time to pay the parking fee of $10, which turned out to be $5, by the way.
Yeah.
When they realized I was a senior citizen.
Sorry, my continual cough. Anyway, yes, exactly when I said, yeah, so it was only like $5. And I said, you know what? I'm going to spring and listen to an audio thing. And
Oh yeah, you got the $8 multimedia audio thing where we actually saw the face of the mountain being taken down. We saw the face of the mountain,
explosions and things.
explosions being taken out on this little TV screen. I said, wouldn't it be great if they had a widescreen TV and just showed that for free?
Yeah.
You know, of course we want to see the blasting of the mountain, but we saw a beautiful series of stories about how the struggle that went on making the mountain and building the Mount Rushmore structure took hundreds of men for years. But you know, they didn't mention once how many people died making that. And I'm going to look that up and see how many people died making Mount Rushmore, because you know those explosions couldn't have been saved.
Yeah.
They wouldn't talk about it in the multimedia. I was searching for the word death, and they didn't have anything in there. No, I've not worked with Lyndon LaRouche people, but you know, they're looking for alternative views. I'm more than willing to admire the fact that Lyndon LaRouche was the architect of the Star Wars Strategic Defense Initiative that Ronald Reagan talked about. Lyndon LaRouche had the forethought to believe that if we could develop defense systems and share those defense systems with our enemies, we could begin to nullify the constant anger and hatred that all of our nations seem to have toward each other. And I've actually built that concept into my mobile defense missile system concept, where we could actually create mobile defense missile systems that could be exported to other countries with their own mapping system installed in it permanently, so we can't even enter it and we can't violate their space. We could actually sell weapon systems to our enemies with this concept. And I'm not sure how this will be received by the military, but I can tell you that every single country wants a missile defense system, a drone system that can defend their nation, and think of the potential value of that. So yeah, Strategic Defense Initiative ideas of Lyndon LaRouche definitely are moving forward in my mind. You know, Sarah and I don't have a problem with activities when we're driving because we have satellite radio. We just don't listen to Howard Stern because he's really, really bad. So we just bounce around radio stations when we're traveling. Yeah. So I don't mind having the goal of saving America at the very heart of what we do. But bear in mind, the level of corruption that's been breeding in our government for a long time is there, and they've got control over the House and the Senate. The people that run our country control the votes. They got, like I said earlier, they control Ilhan Omar. They control Elizabeth Warren. She knows fully well that she'll be charged with perjury for her violating affirmative action law if I were president. But Trump won't do that. He used my idea of getting a DNA test done on her, and he acted like it was his idea. But I was the one that first suggested that Elizabeth Warren should get a DNA test, and she finally did, and she came out less than 1% Cherokee Indian. And that, to me, is a 5-year prison sentence for perjury. You can't write on a document that you're Cherokee and get all this free financial aid to go to college when I couldn't go to college because I couldn't get any funding, even though I had higher grade point average than she did in high school and a higher SAT average as well. Yet she gets a career and is a senator. I get nothing. That doesn't fly well with me. We are kind of living off our rations in a way. Sarah and I opened up a bag of beans at our safe house a couple days ago, and every one of them was contaminated with mold.
Oh, it was so gross.
So I threw them all into our bean hole, and then I added the old shredded wheat, which is also kind of stale, on top of the bean hole. So some poor animal is going to go in there trying to eat shredded wheat and encounter those mildewed beans, and we're hoping it just turns into mulch and worms eat it.
It'll just compost.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any worms to add to it, but
that's okay. We should just buy a big pound of worms and stick it in the ground.
They're $35 for a pound of worms.
Not at the bait store. I found a way of buying these things cheap.
Yeah.
They use them for bait all the time.
I know.
Yeah. We can get a little handful. They'll replicate.
Yeah.
So we can go to a bait store and buy a handful of red regulars, and we should be on our way. No, I just was trying to compost all that stuff. I could never cook moldy beans. No, that stuff is toxic. Once you smell the product, you'll see how toxic it is.
Yeah, not trying to hurt anyone. Neither Xenu were at a safe house.
Yeah, we have a place
But
to
our
go
safe
to.
house doesn't have internet, so yes, we are using internet from a different location just to be able to
Do a show, yeah.
to connect with all of you.
You know, you're right, Mr. B. MRB 1723 said education is so overrated, especially when 90% of it's a lie. But I must tell you, Sarah is a big beneficiary of great education, and she makes a good living. She works with the public education system, and if you want to make a decent amount of money in this world, you have to get an education, unless you're a great, incredible entrepreneur and can make something everyone wants. I'm a good cook, yeah. Yeah, so you have a 4.0, big deal, exactly. I had a 4.0 when 4.0s were the highest grade you could get. Now you can get a 5.0 in high school. But the point I'm making is, a lot of you people who are Caucasian, you shouldn't have a problem getting into colleges like Harvard, and kids, young people who are, happen to have B- averages who are minorities are getting in, and you're not. So we're slowly degrading the quality of education at the highest level. What I'm recommending is that we reduce that affirmative action barrier, double the Pell Grants for blacks, whites, Hispanics, Asians, everybody, and get everybody a chance to get a quick, free community college education. And I'm the one who created the idea that Biden just ran with as his.
Our final destination on this trip is back home.
Yes, exactly. Our final destination is going home. Yeah, so don't think for a second that I am not aware of the situation. A lot of very talented young white people are wondering why they're being pushed aside based on the color of their skin. And I'm very worried about this. And I want to make sure that we don't alienate even all the minorities that are out there that want a good education. They have every right to a good education too. So we have to always realize that we shouldn't have these special privileges for anybody, even if they're minority. Everyone should get equal access and be judged on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Ironically, the Civil Rights Act led to affirmative action, which is the opposite of that.
Yes, ironically, Sausage David's been traveling across country, and he thought that this location wouldn't have any chemtrails, and then he's looking outside and he said, oh my goodness, there's chemtrails here.
Yeah, we went to the farthest areas of distant areas, and we looked up and we saw chemtrails. So they're all over the country. They're hitting chemtrails everywhere, every part of the country at various times. We're all being sprayed like insects.
Don't worry, David is always taking full precautions.
Nope, it's not condensation, it's chemical. And they've tested the material in the chemicals, and it's not a condensation issue. This is heavy metals they're using, and they're using it to control the weather. If you want to go to a website, I constructed a website with great links, great files to share with everybody you know, called chemtrailparty.com. We don't talk about the Holocaust is a real event. It happened. Deal with it. Okay. Yeah, I won't vote Republican or Democrat. I put a little faith in the Democrats, thinking that they would initiate impeachment, and then Nancy Pelosi put the kibosh on that. And it's pathetic how they chose her as their Speaker of the House. No, they're not contrails, they're chemtrails, Squonk. You've been removed from the room on a second level. You're not allowed to come in here and talk about chemicals being dumped on our heads as being condensation.
Yeah, David doesn't like that.
Hardy har har. We are on to the Guardians of the Galaxy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to reach the 5-minute part in our show. To recap, there's nothing new in the news to talk about. Nothing. And Trump is doing the unthinkable, acting like he's a junta leader he's like General Tito. It's not our IP, it's a VPN out of Singapore. You're funny. Yeah, go ahead and post our VPN out of Singapore. Good luck with that. Yeah, it'll be effective in knowing our VPN out of Singapore. Go for it, buddy. These people who are trolling us are afraid of us. The fact that we've done such a great job at stopping these 4chan and 8chan people from spreading CIA rumors about us. We just had a group of 4chan people in our show 2 days ago, and they were like, no, I'm running through a VPN. There's no way they could find my IP at all, ever. But isn't it funny how we literally have people now actually thinking that they can stop us when we've beaten them at their own game? The CIA has been nesting in 4chan for years. They use 4chan as a way to spread rumors about us. Literally. They've been using 4chan to say I'm a shill or some ridiculous thing like that, when clearly I'm not a shill. I have been censored in the media for the past 10 years. And being you are probably part of that group of shills controlled by the CIA at 4chan, we're going to remove you from the show as well. Nice, Dave. I just tried to set one up. My IPs can't seem to find my account. Exactly. Nope, I'm not at any one location. We ran a test. We asked a few people what their IPs were and what their VPNs were, and I found a guy who really knew everything. Like, he's one of these savants. He says, no, man, this is the VPN to get. And we got it, and we haven't had a problem with it at all. So we're really happy about that, and it's been a really big success. And I do want to thank one of our donators for donating $40 in this cycle just to be able to afford this VPN. It's wonderful to have a donator who can actually, give us enough to just carry on with this effort.
If you're thinking of donating, our PayPal is americasthirdparty@gmail.com.
That's right. Now, we haven't been able to get a lot of donations, as you know, from American citizens. You can't donate if you're from a foreign country watching us. But we haven't had a lot of donations from American citizens since we joined the Vaughn network. Our donations have flatlined. And we were doing really well under Blog TV when some federal informant bought out the company of Blog TV, shut it down. And now we moved to Vaughn and iVlog, and we're still having major censorship issues. Guest chat, people have to log in with an email address just to type in as a guest at iVlog. That wasn't the way when we started. So we know we've influenced that show, and they've directed all kinds of efforts to censor us. Hola, from the fun side of the wall. Hola, man. Welcome. Okay, so this show will go on. We're going to be going to driving out and maybe seeing some fireworks still in the evening. Yeah, so the night's young, everybody. 6 to 8 show, and you good luck with your fireworks in your local area, and I hope nobody burns their house down. No, that's not our IP, man. Far from it. Nope. Okay. See how great this thing is?
Yeah.
It runs for a while, and then it keeps us going. Cool.
Yeah, that works well.
Yeah, so one of the big things that we're going to be doing as we do the next show, I'll be doing the show without Sarah tomorrow, but we're going to kind of address how we're going to navigate out of this hole that we're in as a nation. And I believe through the center. And I think that uniting the country, finding people who support our ideals without worrying about taxing more. We're not going to tax and spend like the Democrats, but we're not going to give tax breaks to the rich like the Republicans have been doing. That's exactly the problem. No, Tom, we don't integrate our show with other people. And the fact is, if we were to take the show publicly live right now, it raises our risk factor incredibly. I know. Sarah was sleeping in this picture? Okay. She's in a cranky mood in that picture. Not much of the news. There's an earthquake app that didn't work in LA, and they had a 6.4 earthquake. Trump's basically handing out, this is I think the most interesting news of all, is Trump has been handing out VIP just to the event he put on today. If you can imagine that. He couldn't get anyone to come to the event, so he's been handing them out for free. the VP.
To anyone who wants to come.
To anyone who wanted to come in.
That's like how sad our country's become, and just like we don't.
He puts on a junta-style military parade with just a few, military tanks, Shermans and Abrams tanks, and then White House's staff's forced to hand out VIP tickets to Trump's 4th of July event. How pathetic is this president, people? Come on. We can do better. We can do much better than the Democrats, Republicans. Wake up, America. Let's get this party started, shall we? I mean, I've been doing this for 10 and a half years against all odds. The least you can do is stand behind it and get behind it and tell people about it, okay? And I know many of you are doing that, and I appreciate that, but this is a disaster. These people are so afraid of us, they're doxing us or attacking us every night. Thanks for watching the show, everybody. We're signing off. We'll see you guys later. I'll be checking into the chat room later tonight to clear it. All right, take care, everyone. We'll put some music on, and we'll be back later. Take care.
Love.